Welcome back. This is video 4 of 4 in Module 3, Alcohol Education. In video 1, we covered the history of alcohol and the human side of why people drink. In video 2, we covered the physiology of alcohol and DOT's specific thresholds. In video 3, we looked at how alcohol misuse develops over time and why early recognition matters. In this final video, we close out the alcohol module. We are going to cover what makes alcohol testing unique compared to other DOT testing, what an off-duty DUI or DWI means for your career, what happens after a violation from a human perspective, the support resources available to you right now, and what a strong safety culture actually looks like in practice. Let's get into it. The standard DOT drug testing process relies on a multi-step sequence designed for deliberation. It requires urine collection, laboratory analysis, and a review by a medical review officer. There is even a formal window for the employee to request a retest through a split specimen. Alcohol testing under the DOT functions with a different set of rules. A trained technician administers the test using a federally approved evidential breath testing device. There is no laboratory processing, no MRO review, and no split specimen to request. This diagram illustrates the direct nature of the process. Because breath testing yields real-time results, a confirmed test at or above 0.04 triggers the same-day instant removal from all safety-sensitive duties. The consequence is as immediate as the result. When focusing on the return-to-duty phase of that flowchart, the threshold for resuming safety-sensitive work is absolute. The requirement is not below 0.04 or even below 0.02. It is exactly 0.000, the complete absence of alcohol in your system. The speed and finality of breath testing are precisely why alcohol violations feel so jarring to the employees involved. Proactively understanding these rules is the only way to navigate the program safely. This regulatory oversight extends well beyond your shift. Your commercial driver's license never clocks out. Decisions made in your personal vehicle on a Saturday night carry the same federal consequences for your career as an on-the-job violation. This penalty matrix outlines the federal consequences for an off-duty DUI. A first offense results in a 1-year disqualification. If you carry a hazmat endorsement, it extends to 3 years. A second offense, in any vehicle, results in a lifetime disqualification. How those offenses are tracked has recently changed. On June 22, 2026, the FMCSA published a final rule updating the reporting relationship between drivers and state licensing agencies. This data map illustrates the new system. CDL holders no longer need to personally notify their state of domicile within 30 days of a conviction. States now automatically exchange violation data through the exclusive electronic exchange. However, looking at the driver node on this map, one requirement remains unchanged. This automated exchange only applies to state agencies, not your employer. Many DOT-regulated employers still require you to directly self-report an alcohol-related legal event. Failing to make that report is often treated as a separate, severe policy violation. Treating state-level automation as a substitute for your employer's self-reporting policy is a dangerous administrative oversight. It can end a career just as decisively as the DUI itself. Compliance training rarely addresses what a violation actually feels like. The immediate reality is often defined by an intense emotional impact. Fear is usually the first response. Fear for family, income, and the future. Shame often follows, fueled by the feeling that a professional reputation has been damaged beyond repair. This leads to a deep, profound sense of isolation. These responses are human, but they are not a verdict on your identity. A violation is a structured event with a defined path toward recovery.
Many professionals walk that path and return to duty with a clearer understanding. To make that recovery path safer to navigate, the DOT established strict confidentiality protections. These regulations act as a shield, preventing a violation from becoming a matter of public ruin. Your test results and return-to-duty progress are shared exclusively with the designated employer representative, the substance abuse professional, and relevant safety personnel. Your records do not become public information and cannot be shared with future employers without explicit written consent. These confidentiality walls were built deliberately. They ensure that engaging with the recovery process is safer than attempting to hide the problem. The primary objective of this module is to help you access support before a breath test is ever administered or a crisis begins.
If you recognize a shift in your relationship with alcohol, such as an escalation in frequency or a reliance on it to manage stress, your most powerful resource is the Employee Assistance Program, or EAP. This infographic highlights the 4 pillars of the EAP. The service is completely free and strictly confidential. Crucially, calling the EAP triggers 0 DOT testing requirements and creates no disciplinary record. It is a resource designed for the moment you realize something needs attention. For urgent situations that occur outside of business hours, there is an immediate alternative. The SAMHSA confidential helpline operates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at 1-800-662-4357. Utilizing these resources is an act of professional responsibility. It allows you to rewrite the timeline of a potential violation before it ever starts. This level of responsibility is the basis of a true safety culture. It is the operational belief that your coworkers' well-being is part of your responsibility, just as yours is part of theirs. It means creating an environment where asking for help is viewed as a sign of high self-awareness. In this setting, the conversation about alcohol happens before a violation, rather than after. Listen to the early warning signs we discussed throughout this module. If a pattern or behavior landed in a way that made you pause, take that pause seriously and use the resources while the situation is still in your control. This is the end of Module 3, Alcohol Education. Across these 4 videos, we covered 9,000 years of alcohol history and how it shaped today's DOT testing program. We covered the human side, why people drink, what hidden use looks like, the high functioning pattern, shame, stigma, and early warning signs. We covered the full physiology, what alcohol does to the brain and body, why feeling fine is not reliable, binge drinking, metabolism, next day impairment, sleep disruption, and DOT's 0.02, 0.04, and 0.08 thresholds. And we covered how misuse develops, the spectrum, the gradual shift, stress, tolerance, escalation patterns, and the critical difference between a pattern and a crisis. Alcohol is a legal substance. It is part of human culture, and it is one of the most significant safety risks in safety-sensitive work. Understanding it fully, the history, the science, the human reality, and the regulatory framework is what allows you to navigate it responsibly. That knowledge is now yours. In Module 4, we shift to the DOT drug testing program. We will cover the 5 substances included in the standard testing panel, how the testing process works from collection to result, what the regulations require, and what you need to know to stay informed and stay compliant. Take what you learned here into the next video. We will see you there. Strict compliance keeps you qualified today, but engaging with support systems ensures you remain qualified for the decades to follow. That balance protects your reputation, your family, and the longevity of the career you've worked to build.